David, this week on Positive Regression, we answered some great questions submitted by listeners, and one of them had to do with the back of the Cup field. We know there are productive drivers back there, kind of competing against the drivers, in that same realm of speed, if you will. This listener wanted to know, are there any hidden talents, anyone we're not looking at, or maybe a surprise out there?
One driver that stood out to me is James Davison from Rick Ware Racing. When you consider he's not all that young, he's 35 years old this year. It's not far off of his statistical peak, but he has an eclectic background. He raced in Star Mazda. He raced in Formula cars, IndyCar, Indy Lights, and even sports car racing before he hit up NASCAR. And what he's doing statistically can be observed. He is the second best surplus passer in the series as a whole. Now, he's passing folks in the back of the pack, but he's a positive passer on 550 tracks, on 750 ovals, and on road courses. So at least statistically, there's something fascinating about James Davison.
We've seen drivers climb this ladder before, right? From the back of the field, Matty D, Ross Chastain. Are there any owners out there willing to look and dig deep at this statistical profile and look at a James Davison?
The honest answer is I don't know. I don't know if there are owners digging as deep as we do every week on Positive Regression. So this might, unfortunately, be an instance in which James Davison has to take actions into his own hands. The listener specifically referenced Ross Chastain. Well, the way Ross Chastain popped hot on the radar was he took it upon himself to find some tracks and some good equipment in the Xfinity series to prove that he can win. And that got folks thinking differently about him. Maybe that's the path that James Davison needs to take. I sure would like to see if he has more to offer in the NASCAR Cup Series, because at least statistically, there's something there and it's worth looking into.
It was a great question. This week's episode is filled with so many of them. Make sure you listen to this week's Positive Regression.